Right now, we're at the Pi 2-Day Network event. What is the purpose or the goal of events like these?
Main goal is for all the members of the Pi community to meet up, then networking, of course. Plus, that's why we invite the CEO of Enchain, Mr. Sifan, because we want to diversify our community. We want to open it to everybody as long na our main target is to educate the community with regards to blockchain.
Great. Well, thank you so much. Well said. I'm with Stefan Matthews, Enchain co-founder and executive chairman. Hi, good morning.
Hi, Claire. How are you?
We are here at the Pi Network event in the Philippines, and you were one of the speakers. Can you just give us an idea or a summary of what you talked about this morning?
The topic was the dynamic business environment of the Philippines and how blockchain technology fits into that dynamic business environment. So it was pretty broad. I had the opportunity to talk about Enchain, obviously, because Enchain is a sponsor, and I was billed as being the founder, co-founder, and chairman. So I spoke about Enchain's history, its position in the world of innovative companies, and particularly in the blockchain sector. Also talked a little bit about myself and my personal history in the space, but I didn't spend a lot of time on that. And then I talked about the things we're doing briefly in Bataan and other work that we were doing with other government agencies. The discussion that I had a couple of months ago with President Marcos about his vision for blockchain for the Philippines, and kind of tied it all together in the end with Web3 and social impact.
So you did mention that everything that Enchain does in blockchain has to do with building and delivering and rolling out the largest social impact in the world. So how does this tie into Enchain's work in the Philippines?
When it comes to Web3, Web3 is about individuals. You and I, our identities, our data, who owns that data. Currently in the world of Web 2, we don't. Mega corporations own that data and they control it and they monetize it. The world of Web 3 flips that on its head, and it flips it on its head because of the introduction of blockchain technology, where we have identity management, data management, immutable control across those areas, where you and I and others decide who has access to what parts of our identity and for what purposes, and also our data. And we're going to go through a significant period over the next decade of massive change. And that massive change delivers the opportunity to make a profound social impact. You look at this country and you think of all the blockchain-based enablement that will improve the lives of people, of communities, will improve the functioning of government and government departments. It's a pretty exciting time to live through. And, I've had the opportunity, the privilege, if you like, of having come through the whole internet years. And now I'm getting to be able to see this from a slightly different perspective, but the same sort of thing, history repeating itself in the blockchain space.
Definitely, I agree. This huge social impact that blockchain can bring. And do you think people realize that owning their own data is that sort of impact that blockchain can bring? Do they realize the importance of that?
No, they don't. But they'll very quickly learn. People are actually smart. When they see the benefits starting to emerge and the differences that it makes, they'll pick it up pretty quickly. And one of the things that will cause that to happen is the monetization, the monetization of personal data. That is the thing that will cause people to look at this very seriously from how it affects me. And that's on the doorstep.
That'll be huge. You also did mention earlier about the adoption of IPv6, 70% you said within government services infrastructure. Can you expound a little bit more on that?
Yeah, look, the interesting thing is back in 2008, 2009, Craig used to talk to me all the time about IPv6. And of course I used to think, what the hell is IPv6? Because it wasn't really a thing for me then, but it was in the forums and being talked about. And then it subsequently became a standard. And if we're going to have nano transactions, person to person, peer to peer, without going through an intermediary, we need those IP addresses. And for government and government services, definitely. And when I was sitting actually in the Globe telecom building in BGC yesterday, talking to the guy who heads the IPv6 forum here, he told me that of all government infrastructure, 70% of it is IPv6 enabled already. So it's not a huge step then to close that gap and be able to use that to leverage the initiatives that the President mandated for government during his term. I mean, that's an exciting conversation to have when I have those conversations with DICT and the President.
Right. So we are moving forward.
I think we're running forward.
That's great. Now, lastly, again, back here we are at the Pi Network event, and the Pi Network are blockchain community enablers. Why do you think it's significant for nChain to have presence and to share your message to community enablers and their audience?
Community enablers have always been important, not just in this sector or this space. Grassroots understanding and knowledge. When I was asked if I would crawl out of bed on a Sunday morning to come here and speak at this event, I thought, well, there's a lot of things I could be doing on a Sunday morning, but why not? I haven't spent enough time myself in the grassroots of thinking and what's going on. When we launch our Block Dojo incubator here, we're operating at the community level. So, I took the opportunity because I thought I should. I thought I owed it to the Philippines to do so, and I'm glad I did.
Well, congratulations and all the best.
Thank you very much.